So, hi everyone. I hope you all have had a great week, and I welcome all of you to our weekly Communities of Practice Sunday check-in session and half-hour of Dharma reflection and community connections. If you are a new member of our community, please accept our wholehearted welcome to you. If you have any questions regarding our practices and topics, we are all here to help. So it is customary for people in Australia to begin any meetings by acknowledging the traditional owners of our land. I would like to start today by acknowledging the Darwo people as the traditional owners of the land on which Nantian Institute resides. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you all are, and I pay my respects to the elders in the past, present, and emerging. The check-in sessions have been developed by our Communities of Practice team and the entire community. The purpose of this session is to develop a reflective practice in response to changes. Guided by humanistic Buddhism, we would like to cultivate our practices and to build memorable friendships. Last week, under the guidance of Joy, we were asked to reflect on the practice of letting go of the raft and the benefits that we can gain from such a practice. Today, Priscilla will lead us through the final chapter of the Diamond Sutra. Let's welcome Priscilla.
Thank you, Xiaomong. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. This is the final week of the year and the final in our series of Giving Diamonds. So let's start with our usual mindful check-in and some breathing meditation. So with our first two breaths in and out, we relax every part of our body from head to toe. Checking our posture, keeping still and steady, and gently so. With the next two breaths in and out, we relax our mind and return to the present moment. With the final two breaths in and out, we return our focus to our breathing. Every breath in is a reminder that we make an impact on the world through every breath. Our bodies, our senses, our thoughts. Every breath out is a reminder that the world impacts us with every breath, via our bodies, our senses, and our thoughts. Let's remain aware of this for a minute or so. Whenever you're ready, please open your eyes. In these 6 weeks together, we've explored the Diamond Sutra as a community. To recap, in chapter 1, the Buddha emphasized the importance of settling the body. Joey then took us to the heart of the Mahayana to introduce the idea of transcending notions of self and other. We then were directed towards giving without abiding, a daily practice which helps us experience the limitlessness of compassion. More practice tips came in appreciating the illusory nature of our experiences. And finally, we were asked to let go of ideas which impede our ability to dissolve dualities. And now I welcome you to the final chapter of the Diamond Sutra. Let's read together. Part of chapter 32, like shadows, like bubbles, like dreams. All conditioned phenomena are like dreams, illusions, bubbles, and shadows, like dew and lightning. One should contemplate them in this way. For me, this final chapter poetically puts together all the lessons of the Diamond Sutra and asks us to reflect through everyday ideas. So let's explore dreams, illusions, bubbles, and shadows. In the middle of the night, we are transported to another world where fear, joy, and certainty seem so real and intense. We wake up in the morning and laugh because we know they weren't, and we've spent so much energy on just a dream. Can we realize that these dreams and the experiences in this world which we call real are one and the same? The argument with loved ones, the joyful holiday, the stress of the workplace, each seeming so important in the moment, but fleeting, impermanent, and destined to eventually vanish without a trace, except in our own minds. In this illusion, what do you see, the vase or the faces? Seems like a superficial exercise, but it shows how our mind can shift, how two different minds can see two different images from the same scenario. In the session on illusory forms, we looked at how our minds can interpret situations according to our backgrounds and our biases. What may seem a disaster for one person can be a blessing for another. If we can be aware of how our perception is affecting how we see reality, we are on our way to seeing Tathagata. On bubbles, a bubble seemingly fragile, transient, gone in an instant. And yet, what was it in the first place? What has it become? Those molecules of water came from the sky in the form of rain into the flowing streams, powerfully crashing down as waterfalls and then floating through the air as a bubble. The illusion is that the bubble finally disappears with a pop, but really it has simply changed form and returned to the skies to rejoin this cycle again. For the bubble, there is no self, no other, no concept of time span or longevity. And so it is for us, for all things. And finally, the shadow. It's not just dependent on the form which it's casting it, but so many factors: the sun, the clouds, the time of day, the surface, the movement. Each is constantly changing, and so the shadow is constantly changing too. We grasp helplessly at something permanent to abide in, this search for the right, the good, the end point, the proper side of duality. But next time we're sitting in the afternoon sun, let's remember that abiding is like wishing for the absoluteness of something as constantly evolving and evasive as our very own shadow. Dreams, illusions, bubbles and shadows. Impermanent, constantly transforming and evolving, interdependent or without a self, and no different to any other phenomenon or non-phenomenon. The Buddha's way of pointing us towards reality. So that concludes today's little exploration of these metaphors and rafts. I look forward to hearing your wisdom in the upcoming breakout rooms. Thanks, Salma.
Okay, thank you, Priscilla, for bringing us such a visual chapter. So in the next 15 minutes, let's reflect and discuss on the following questions. Reflecting on an event or experience you have had in 2021, how will contemplating it as dreams, illusions, bubbles, and shadows benefit you and others? Share your reflections on the 6 weeks of exploring the Diamond Sutra. Was there any one diamond which resonated most with you? How will you apply this diamond to your everyday life from now on?
Welcome back. I hope you all had a good session discussing bubbles, illusions, shadows, and dreams. So Lai Chin, universal transformation within the Dharma realm. All sees all in depth of consciousness. It's very deep, Lai Chin. But yeah, transformation, I think, is the word that we've really been looking at through the year and through this Diamond series. My group talked about managing stressful times and trying to remember to practice when things are calm. So it's easy for us sometimes to remember those ideas of impermanence and bubbles and shadows when things are difficult, but being able to practice and remember during those stressful times is really difficult. Lai Chin also says giving hope is important regardless of any circumstance. And Stacey tells us that insight is a diamond. It becomes our being as we act, speak, and think with the embodied insight. So there's not even thinking about whether to act or not. It's spontaneous and naturally flowing. It sounds like a practice for us all to work towards, Stacey. Thanks. So talking about the communities of practice, Tom? Yeah. So a place for us all to practice, I think. Practice understanding that it's all a dream or shadow and illusion. Narayan, who I think is in my group, talked about the collateral benefits of bubbles. If you don't like the situation, it shall pass. If you love the situation, it shall also pass. How true. Yeah. No matter what, it will all pass. And David talks about the essence of the Dharmakaya. And Darren, some advice for all of us. Bubbles can be enjoyable to chase, but what happens when we try to grab hold of them? So yeah, something for us all to contemplate there. So keep writing in the chat box, everyone. I'm going to hand back to Xiao Meng to close for our very last session of the year.
Okay, thank you, Priscilla. We really hope the check-in session was helpful to you, and we hope you experienced the unconditional love and compassion of this community. But for anyone who may be experiencing a greater need than what today could meet, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us, and you can also reach out to the professional organizations on the screen. So today is the final check-in session of this year. We really appreciate all of your participation and devotion to this kind and warm community. We will recommence our Sunday check-ins on 16th January 2022, and the topic for the first session will be looking inward and backwards at 2021. As mentioned by Venerable Jue, hopefully there will be something that we all can do during the holiday, and everyone will be able to take some gems to share when we return. As we check out today, let's recite the dedication of merit together to send love and compassion to whoever in need.
Let us now dedicate the goodness of what you have done to all living beings. May kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity pervade all worlds. May we cherish and build affinities to benefit all beings. May Chan, Pure Land, and precepts inspire equality and patience. May our gratitude and humility give rise to great vows.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Now we will have our Euro post check-in discussions. So please stay around if you have time. Otherwise, see you all again on January 16th at 11 a.m. on Sunday. We wish you a happy and relaxed holiday.